and the fact that we continue to remain very tribal and are very often used by the men to fight against each other as women.
Women are used by men to fight each other. That was a statement from the current sitting Speaker of the House of Jamaica Parliament, Mrs. Juliet Holness. She spoke these words at the Caucus of Women Parliamentarians that was held on 5th of February 2026 in the Chambers. Juliet Holness was not chairing the meeting. She was not physically present in the chamber. She joined remotely via video link from her home. Yet she was still speaking as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Jamaica's highest parliamentary procedural authority. That distinction matters because the intervention was voluntary, not obligatory. She was not required to speak. She was not managing proceedings. She was participating by choice. And that means she chose to say what she said. That choice alone makes the moment significant. There is also something important about distance combined with authority. Speaking remotely often lowers inhibition. Without the pressure of presiding, without managing decorum, without the immediacy of the chamber, people tend to speak more freely. From that setting, remarks appear less scripted, less guarded, and potentially more reflective of what she genuinely believes. This is especially notable because speakers typically avoid value-laden systemic critiques, particularly gendered ones. Yet here, she offered one plainly. Even when chairing, however, Juliet Holness is never just another participant. Her title follows her into every room. Words carry institutional weight, whether she intends them to or not. She cannot fully step out of the speaker's shadow. As a result, the statement lands not as abstract commentary, but as something closer to, this is how things actually work. And I've seen it. That is why it resonates so strongly.
I would like to invite the most honorable Juliet Holness, Speaker of the House, who is online. Madam Holness, could you please invite you to make your comments?
Good afternoon, everyone. I've turned my video on, so I am being seen and heard. Mr. Could you confirm, please?
We're hearing you, okay? We're hearing you, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the new members of the caucus. I join with our chair, Minister Grange, and colleague Angela Brownberg in the sentiments raised earlier. I will not repeat. I continue to appreciate the work being done both by CPA and Parliamentarians and enjoy the fact that over my limited tenure, I do note that more and more female representatives are being placed in a position to serve both in the Senate and as members of Parliament, and have actually started to take up significantly more leadership roles, both here in Jamaica, across the Commonwealth, and even in the institutions of the CPA and Parliamentarians. I will say, however, that building trust is a major challenge, and it will continue to be a major challenge, and creating that safe space for openness and open dialogue. And this I find coming from some of the discussions we had before, and the fact that we continue to remain very tribal and are very often used by the men to fight against each other as women. I believe that issues of revisiting legislation, continuing to look at our legislations through gender lens, is a critical one, and I'm hoping that in this term we are able to add a real look at what's happening with AI and cybercrime, because I find as a female it is highly targeted to women, one, and women in politics, number two. I can't fathom how I could ever be on Minister Silvera's title, someone I've never met. And when you see posts like that being sponsored, you wonder who sponsors them. And so building trust for me and sitting down and having discourse in respect of some of these legislations really is going to require that we genuinely, as women, and I'm being specific in terms of gender, make an effort to start being our sister's keeper. So I am going to ensure that I also put myself in a mind frame to wipe slates clean and to open myself for having that trust, for making sure that I also create that space and open my arms and hope that together we can genuinely work in the interest of us as women in Parliament and for our wider population. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Thank you for your wise words.
The comment is just as revealing as the comment itself. The room did not recoil. It opened up. Multiple women spoke about deficits of trust. Several referenced entrenched tribalism. Others raised concerns about boycotts, sabotage, and attendance as real risks to the caucus's work. Her words did not shock the room. They unlocked it. That tells us this is not an isolated view. It is a shared internal experience among women parliamentarians. And that should give anyone who cares about institutional cohesion pause. At the same time, the statement implicitly acknowledges gendered power dynamics without assigning accountability. She did not name who does the using. She did not describe the mechanisms through which it happens. She did not how women can realize it. The state diagnoses the disease, but leaves responsibility diffuse. That ambiguity can be empowering or paralyzing. In politics, it often breeds distrust. There is also a deeper risk. Once stated publicly, the narrative can become self-enforcing. Every disagreement among women as risks being interpreted as external aggression. Genuine ideological differences may be delegitimized or dismissed. That is dangerous for a caucus whose stated goal is to build authentic trust and collaboration. And even here, her spousal relationship to the Prime Minister cannot be ignored. Though she was not chairing, though she was at home, though she spoke as one voice among many, the public cannot unknow that she is married to the head of government and closely adjacent to executive power. That reality invites unavoidable questions. Is this critique abstract or experiential? Is it historical or current? Is it about men in politics broadly, or something closer to home?
Member Denise Daly, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, it was, I think, last 2023 that the Caucus of Women in Parliament here was established. And honestly speaking, I thought we reached the end of ourselves, because I think we were very anxious at the time. We had a lot of ideas, and we knew exactly what we wanted to do. Shortly after that, when we came back, I recognized that we need some cultural shift and some cultural changes in order for us to understand our role as women in Parliament and more so our caucuses. We tend to go straight between party lines, even when it is staring us in our faces. And we will have to now determine what we want to get, what do we want to achieve. I personally believe that the female parliamentarians, we need to sit down now and to look at the low-hanging fruits. What we want to do in year one, what we want to see achieve in year two, and ultimately what we'd want to see the caucus look, feel, and to be able to deliver.
Trust factor. And I'm a little bit skeptical, I have to say, that we will be able to possibly continue that because of, we have been somewhat of a tribal society. And so I think the way forward is to possibly look at, identify something that we really want to focus on when it comes to one voice in the parliament that we can agree with, and to possibly fight for that particular cause where the party line will not come in the way. Again, as I said, while I remain hopeful, I am somewhat skeptical because I've seen some things happening that happened in the past few months where I did not see that coming together of the women in the parliament where we should have. And so I'm hoping with this, with the vast number of women that we now have in the parliament, that we can fight one cause and and really identify something that we can all fight for.
Once such a group exists, that speculation cannot be controlled. This moment signals that women parliamentarians do not feel fully autonomous. It signals that trust fractures are real, not rhetorical. It signals that unity is aspirational, not established. And it signals that power dynamics are still shaping behavior behind the scenes. That is not scandal. It is structural vulnerability. Even with corrected facts, the state remains high impact, politically delicate, and institutionally revealing. What makes it striking is not where Juliet Holness was when she said it, but that she felt safe enough to say it out loud, and that others in the room clearly recognized its truth. What are your thoughts? Please share them.